You're such an asshole.
All right, continuing on. This would be number 4 of maybe 5 of originals that a guy bought. He bought a bundle of originals, and it's a very simple economic concept, but it's very important. I kind of hope poor people listen to this. I know they won't. If you look at the image that I used as a thumbnail, was from a housing protest, I think in the 70s. And I look at the people that are in there. Okay, they're all black. Looks like they're in New York. That doesn't matter. My question is this: did they ever get the free housing they wanted? Like, they're probably dead by now because they look 30s, 40s, right? That look like maybe 60s, 70s at the latest. That was 50 years ago. Like, what was your life like? Did you inevitably get your government housing? How did that work? And I know most people who are poor are not poor because of truly tragic things outside of their control, like, they get injured and they can't work, or they were born into poverty. That's the most common one. But most people, at least in the United States, you're poor because you're idiots and you're too lazy to go learn some basic economics, and you're too lazy to figure out. I'm not asking you to reverse engineer all of how society and the economy works. I'm asking you to think through your decisions and your choices 3 to 4 steps. Like, the simplest one, which would eliminate poverty most, is like, should I get a vasectomy or put on a condom? All right, just should I make my deposit in the cleavage, in the behind, or in the hoo-ha? Like, where? Think. I'm not asking you to become Thomas Sowell, where you like reverse engineer all the economy to individual act. I'm just saying, think. And so I'm going to try and make this understandable for everyone, poor or not, but it's going to be of particular value of poor people. If you can get over your pride and your woes me and the fact that you might have to work for a living. So here it is. You go back to 2008. Now, let's not do it that way. Let's do this now. We're going to start now, and then we're going to go back in the time machine. So right now, you got younger millennials who are entering their mid-30s or 30s or whatever. And somewhere in the grand scheme of life, they might want to get home ownership. They are complaining, and rightly so, that housing is not affordable. They don't have the skills because they majored in dumb crap to go and build up the money for a down payment, even with an FHA where it's like at 3.5% or 5%. And you got a lot of the boomers retiring and they're downsizing, buying up all the starter homes and the smaller homes. I just laughed my ass off at that. But there's a lot of younger people who like to own homes and they cancel because they're priced out of the market. Now, let's go in our time machine back to 2008 with those exact same people. I can almost guarantee you they're the ones lining up to bow down and worship the pene of Barack Hussein Obama. And of many other reasons they wanted to vote for this guy, one of it was free stuff. They wanted free stuff. At that particular age, those young people wanted help with college. And Obama, actually a pretty honest president. You may disagree with him politically, but he did more or less what he said he wanted to do, or at least he tried to. He printed off more money, went into lots of debt, also to deal with a housing crisis. So there's that too. But dude, that guy spent more money, not to bore you with history and again, economic research facts. Lyndon B. Johnson was the biggest spender in U.S. history up until George Bush, and then George Bush Jr. And then and then after George Bush Jr. came Obama, and Obama blew them both out of the water. And then Trump came and blew them out of the water. So this has nothing really to do with politics. What I'm talking about is decisions and choices have consequences. So all these then very young millennials, free stuff, Barack Hussein Obama, however that chant went with the cult that recited it. So they voted in Obama, and among many other things, Obama printed off more money. spent like trillions. I think the money supply increased by 400% under the Obama administration. And then what ended up happening is that money, in combined with artificially low interest rates, made its way into the financial system, banks, and bank money is deposited immediately into a bank, and banks lend it out on what? Things you can't afford cash for. Well, then that means like a laser, you focus all that money into those asset categories like cars and housing and what else? Tuition. And even though in an ironic sense, Obama did try to help out kids as well as people afford housing, he may have helped out those people at that moment in time, but over the long haul, as that money he printed off circulated into the economy, it drove housing prices up, tuition up, cars up, transportation up, healthcare up, all that. And here's where the poetic justice, not the tragedy, that would indicate this was bad and should have happened. Poetic justice, it means right, it's vindictive, it's justice, real justice. The people who generally voted for Obama to give them more money so they could go and major in whatever, they're not responsible people. They don't want to work hard and pay for their own things. That's irresponsible. And irresponsible people tend not to major in engineering, accounting, becoming surgeons and all that. So what did they do? They took this money, this one shot that if they invested it wisely would have actually put them on a rather good trajectory through life. And they majored in the dumbest crap. To the point now that we need student loan bailouts. And tragically now, even though the price of housing has gone up, their wages did not go up, where they're still begging for $15 an hour. And here it is. You may not like me. You may, did I slander your savior who managed not to help out anyone? Or did I just try to help you out so that you wouldn't be poor? Did I explain why it didn't work out? You took all this money, you wasted it, you didn't invest it in a job that would pay, or a career, the education that would pay. And all you did was manage to inflate prices into the future that now you're working your same, barista job or whatever with your philosophy degree or women's studies degree, or whatever you got. And now you can't afford a home. I didn't do that to you. And Obama didn't do it to you. You did it to you. It's democracy. Obama says, what do you want? Want free money? Okay. And that's what we're going to do for the folks. And he did. He went and got all those bad people's money, the workers. And he gave it to you so you could party. And they printed off more money, by the way, too. Don't forget that. And now here you are. What are we, 8, 9, 10 years later? More than 10. Well, I mean, he had an 8 year, so he went up to 2016. So roughly 8, 9, 10 years later, you guys would like to own a house. But because you voted in a politician who did what you said and printed off the money, okay, fine. You may have gotten scholarships or low interest rate loans. Now you can't afford a house. And this is the point I want to point out to poor people, or just lazy people, poor people, like I said, who think there's some kind of easy way out, who think that printing off money is going to help them. Because, again, in fairness, to show you this is apolitical, we just got through the largest printing off of money in history, and it wasn't Biden. It was Trump. Now, admittedly, that was for the disease. Because that makes sense. Hey, there's this virus going around. What should we do? Let's print off lots of paper dollar bills. That'll solve it. Okay. Still trying to figure out how that works. I'm no doctor or virologist, but I don't know how, literally, again, quadrupling the money supply on top of what Obama already did. Actually, it was 3 times. So it's only 12 times what we did in 2007, only 12 times more. Trump printed off a lot of money. So you all have your stimmy checks. Republican stimmy checks. Biden continued it, but he's only been in office a hot 15 minutes. But what did we do? Let me show you what we did. So what we did is to help out generally poor people. People who don't have their savings, people who can't make ends meet, living paycheck to paycheck, herky-derky. We printed off 4 times more, 3 times more the money supply to give you stimulus checks so that you could get by and survive the disease. A lot of you wanted the rent moratorium as well, so that happened. All printed off money. We paid the landlords, money for everybody. Well, now, have you seen any articles about this thing called inflation? And this is why printing off money absolutely destroys the poor. I'll go through two angles here. Okay. First, generally in democracy, when you print off more money, it goes to buy votes from the commoners and the poor people. Also because the poor people quote need it. And so for that moment in time, that week, that month, maybe that year, you get your free government checks. You get free housing and all that. So for that 1 year, you're on easy street. But then that money permeates and circulates into the economy. And it drives everything up. And you've seen this with price of food. Gas, surprisingly, has remained relatively low. I'm kind of impressed with that. Your rents have gone up. Ain't none of you affording housing now. I wonder if tuition's gone up. I don't have to look it up. I wonder if healthcare has gone up. I don't have to look it up. But all this, and they'll say, oh, supply chain and the longshoremen, we can't get it. And some of that is true as well. But dudes, you just flooded the economy with coming up on 4 times the amount of money if you include Biden's money printing. And what did you guys do? See, at least the millennials back in 2008 went to college for the ostensible purpose of improving themselves so that they might get a job. None of you went and became engineers. None of you got your truck driving certification. None of you became CPAs. You just spent it. Some of you actually did pay down your debts. I did see a study where it said, oh, debts went down significantly. Interesting. That's a good financial thing. But you didn't up your skills. And since you didn't up your skills, that means you couldn't increase your wage. Now that you can't increase your wage, what do you have now? You have what inevitably is going to become 4 times the cost with the same amount of wage. And let's also admit, poor people don't work a lot of the time. So none of you got no wage. What little money you do make, what money you do get from the government, now we've gone back to normal. It doesn't buy you as much as it used to. And that's not just for this next year. That is for all of time. These costs are permanent. This inflation is permanent and it will continue to increase. It is not transitory. I'm sorry you believe the Democrat politicians who told you that. I'm terribly sorry. It is not transitory. And so what you essentially do is a deal with the devil. You get 1 year, month, week, whatever of money, but then you permanently increase your costs for the rest of your life. And you just made yourself poor. So 1 year versus however many years left, you're going to 50, 60 years left, you're going to live. It wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. And you think, oh, we're gonna get the rich. Okay, let me explain what you just did. So you printed off the money, right? The money just doesn't drive up the cost of like hamburgers and milk and coffee. It also drives up asset prices. By asset prices, I mean like things rich people invest in, like real estate and the stock market. So the kind of, it's not really this. Now, how do I want to do it? Okay, first let's start with the lie. The lie is the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. No, that has not been the case. The rich get richer and the poor have gotten richer. That's what's actually happened in the real world. It's rarely that one gets richer or poorer without the other doing. They kind of move in sync. When like a recession, everyone gets poorer. Economic, everyone grows, right? But in you, like, we're going to print off the money, free money. What you've done is for 1 year of good times, you've made it that the rich have gotten richer because the inflation has driven up their asset prices that they own. And you've increased your living costs for the rest of your life. You made rich people richer and impoverished. The rich didn't do that. You did it. However, to be more economically accurate, the rich actually aren't getting richer because you adjusted for inflation. It's like, okay, you have a house that went up twice. Like, oh, my house went up twice the value. No, it didn't. Because if you sold it, you'd have to buy a house that's also doubled in price. So the rich really didn't get richer. They just they just tread water if you adjust for inflation. But you poor people did get poorer. And just like the millennials, you did it with your own hands. You shot yourself in the foot. Now, I'm not going to, again, I don't bang my head against the wall. I don't piss in the hurricane. I don't yell at the clouds. All right. The solution is for you to get a good job, stop making stupid decisions. And if you want to know how to get out of poverty, all right, I got a class link below. It's called Achieving Financial Excellence, the most direct path to wealth. Oh my God, it's $99. Yeah. Did you buy $99 worth of beer? Did you get some stimmy checks that was worth? Oh, why don't you take that class? I can't believe you're charging money. Enjoy being poor. Enjoy being like the people in the thumbnail who tragically, probably the majority of them, sat there, didn't do anything, was waiting for the government to do something, free housing, and then wasted their lives being poor on this planet. Enjoy that life. But I don't know. I mean, you guys went to school forcibly from kindergarten through high school, probably pissed away a lot of money on what do poor people major in if and when they do get criminal justice? That's always a fun one. And I know they totally play to the poor people where it's like, oh yeah, major in social justice. Oh, that will get you a job, right? So you pissed away how much money on that? How much of your time? But you can't take a $99 class on how to escape poverty that's 2.5 hours and is very clear, very simple. It's like, oh, that's all I had to do. Yeah, that's all you had to do. Oh, well, thanks. I feel like you'll be even happier. Those rich people show. Man, a whole life wasted being jealous of other people. Oh, like, pew, I got better things to do, man, than be pissed off at people more successful than me. But I'm pleading with poor people. Stop making your situation worse. I know you may not understand the underlying mechanics of how the economy works, but can we all get this? And not even necessarily poor people, but young, dumb, stupid college kids. Can you all stop printing off more money? Can you stop voting for the guy to print off more money? What do you think's going to, Gen Z, they're in college now. What do you think's going to happen when you want to buy a house? I mean, I guess Gen Z's kind of given up on it. They're not going to buy a house. Maybe you guys can inherit it from your parents. But you got to wait for them to die off. Oh, and good luck getting your mom to leave the house. I love this house. Ma, you don't need this house. Everyone's dead and there's 5 bedrooms here. But we grew up here with our family. What family? We all got divorced and everyone hates each other. What family? Little Gen X humor there. I don't know. You know what you guys should all do? Keep printing off all the money, so that for the remaining 60 years of your life, it's going to be even more costly for you to afford basic things. And then you'll say, oh, but I can't afford basic things. We need the government to print off more money so I can afford basic things. I wonder what's going to happen next year. Oh my gosh, inflation is 18%. What do I do? Get skills and work. But I'm a liberal arts major. I don't want to work. I'm like that, what's that guy? The fat redhead at the Salt Lake City Tribune or something. There's a fat redhead journalist shot. Schott. Yeah, become that guy. There's a picture of him going around on the internet. You look at his apartment, I'm like, man, it sucks to be poor. It sucks to be you, man. I need money to bail me out of my student loan. Like, quite literally, almost penny for penny. Like, I want money for my student loan bailout. All right, we print off that money. The people are going to get the money back. Your landlord's going to get it back. Grocery store's going to get it back. They just pass on the cost to you. I mean, it's compelling for argument for you to get off your ass, get a job, pay off your debts, never worry about it again. But it's my dream to be a teacher. Well, and I guess enjoy being poor. There you go. Anyway, so link to that class is down below. And I'm sorry if I'm such a jerk. It sounds so mean to poor. I just don't care anymore. Y'all don't want to get out of poverty. Y'all keep blaming other people for your problems. Now I got to pay more in taxes to help you because you couldn't, not have kids. Oh yeah, Argentina, you guys are very familiar with the printing press. That is a phenomenal economy. I mean, the economy's crap. But you want to talk about people who just don't get it. They think there's this magic god in the sky that's just gonna save them all the time. Classic Baseman. Oh, I know. Yeah, how you doing? $5. The feeling of contempt and frustration when your parasitic mother demands more stimulus, but at the same time complains about the inflation. Well, I wouldn't be talking to my mom then. I'd be like, nope, not dealing with you. You have fun. You are the enemy. You have decided to make my life harder. But yeah, Manoj Pun Tahila, our ballroom dancing agent in the field, $5. Hey, Captain, how would a life of a minimalist be on a hyperinflated economy? It would. The way to do it, and this is very important, and I know poor people aren't going to listen because your primary goal is to not work. I got that. But the best way, I'll give you an example, like Chad Elkins. You know what Chad Elkins does with his fees? He increases them according to inflation. You need to have a skill that's inflation proof, like mechanics or plumbers, the trades. Truck drivers, obviously, they're in demand now. Or just showing up, it's not even skills now, given the great resignation, which I actually am all for. But if you just show up on time and do your job, they'll pay you. And if inflation goes up 10%, you walk right into your boss like, I want 10% more. Well, we can't afford it. Bye. Oh, wait. Yeah, the best hedge against inflation for a minimalist or anybody for that matter is to have valuable skills, because they know, like dentists, there's the perfect example. What, you're not going to have your teeth done? Go get it done. You're like, be a dentist. What, you're not gonna go and have your heart repaired? Heart surgeon. Oh, that's a fair amount of investment in time. But yeah, go have a skill. And then if you're a minimalist, you have a very high end, like my buddy who, this is many years ago, he didn't get out of bed for $300 an hour, unless it was $300 an hour. I'm sure it's up to $500 now. Like, oh, my cost went up. Guess I'm passing it on to you people. And then I get a kick out of all the consumers, not just poor people, but all the consumers. Why is things so expensive? Why are cars so costly? I can't afford this. Man. Did you vote to flood the economy with 4 times the money? You did. Shut up. But yeah, that's how you would do it. And then another way a minimalist could do it is like you grow your own food. You don't go out. I've been starting to eat at home more, not even because the food is more costly, although there's that too. But I just, the food isn't that good. I'm not paying $15 for like whatever, a Sonic Happy Meal, and the burger ain't that good. I'm not the Sonic. I'm not to slam on Sonic. I didn't have that experience. Sonic actually has maintained their quality, but you go to some of these mom and pop restaurants and they don't put any meat in the sandwich. Just make it at home. Another way here, don't have kids. Hey, how do I survive hard economic times? Don't have kids. Another thing, the largest thing would be not having more home than you need. A lot of you all buy big McMansions. You don't need a McMansion. You just need a small little place. Van life. Sam Whiskey, $5. Poor people spend too much money on lottery tickets. Right. Well, or booze or cigarettes or junk food, whatever. Like, but okay, Sam, what, you think they're going to give it up? They got nothing else going on in life. Look, the choice is just live their miserable existence, winning lottery tickets, and maybe, doing drugs and drinking booze and otherwise plying their brain with drugs so they don't wake up and have the full effect and comprehension of just how pathetic and miserable their lives are. Like, they keep living up. And same thing would be against for guys who play video games all the time, jerking off to porn, who are also poor, living at home. What, you think they're going to do that? They're not going to wake up. Or they have to go get a job and work and do something with their lives. And the average human being is too lazy and slothful to go do something with their lives. They don't want to work. They'd rather have that misery, that what's the one that Catholics believe in? Purgatory. I believe in, they'd rather live in that pointless, meaningless purgatory of, I guess, low-level vice than actually go live their life on it. That's why I don't care. It's not that I hate poor people. I feel very sad for them. I just don't care. Because they're not going to get off their ass and do anything themselves. The link down below. Do you want to change it? There it is. $99. Did I get a government handout? No. I'm getting my money back from the taxes I pay. Yeah, but poverty it's a psychological problem. It's not an economic problem. $50, $5. Aaron, will you be visiting Albuquerque soon? I know good eats in the trails from living here for 4 months. Yeah, I got my buddy Albuquerque Adam out there. I might go visit him. I just got back from Fresh and Fit in Miami. Also visiting Vlad Elkins. And I'm burnt out. My throat's gone. I'm tired. I'm mentally exhausted. I'm not in a good mood. Finished my taxes, and that's done. Not to sound like Jesus, but it is finished. It's been a year of hell, and I'm done with it now. I am, however, I've actually had some downtime enough to start writing my next book. It's called The Menu: Life Without the Opposite Sex. It's not going to be a terribly long book, thick essay, lengthy essays, short book, I guess length we'd call it. But I'm kind of doing that, and if my voice doesn't keep up, I'm gonna have to back off on the. I want to do a podcast today, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. Clarence Gaston, $10. Hey Cappy, you are correct. CDL is a $3,500 investment with a good work ethic, can bring $100,000 a year. Yeah, but people are lazy. Yeah, I know. I had a buddy who did the school and failed. I'm like, how do you fail that? Like, if I'm investing the time and money in anything, I'm gonna make sure I pass it. Yeah, I just look how sad that is. $3,500 investment, and you got to show up on time. I'm sorry your lives are so miserable, poor people. I'm sorry you're stuck in that like mental haze of booze and cigarettes and pot and porn and video games. I'm sorry. You're wasting your life. That's gotta suck. And like, there's a huge part of your brain that knows you're wasting your life, and that's why. And then instead of you blaming yourself, looking in the mirror and say, "I'm a fat, disgusting piece of crap," get out and do something. You're going to go blame other people. Oh, the rich. Oh, okay, fine. I don't know. You live your life however you want. But yeah, right now they're dying for truck drivers, and all you got to do, I think it's like a 6-week program. You can't even do that. All right. Well. I'm scrolling anymore. I think we're caught up. Boom, we're done. All right, there you go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Link to that class down below. Consider taking it. Look, I'll tell you this. Going to be a hell of a lot better than any college class you ever took. I guarantee you that. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.